Yo, 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 top of the morning, baby. Top of the morning. Happy Friday. It's a good Friday. It's a great week. Um, man, what a wild week. What a wild week, man. And I just wanted to jump on here. I'm not gonna be live trading today. I have a couple of appointments as soon as market opens. Um, and I'll have to be on phone calls and stuff like that. But I did want to go over some levels that I'm watching today, and also kind of give you guys a little prep talk or pep talk. I want to encourage y'all today, and I want to leave y'all with something to go into the weekend with and come back next week stronger than we were this week, right? But let's go over some charting really quick. So on a bigger time frame, we're approaching a trend channel, top of a channel, or top of this trend line, right? With the news that came out at 7:30 Central Time or 8:30 Eastern Time, we basically tapped that trend line. So there is definitely still room to the upside, but we definitely need to clear this trend. And 21,930, which is the level we tapped at pre-market during the news. I mean, we can watch that for a break and hold today for more upside. And then we could target this recent swing, 21,965-ish. We get through that. Then we could target, up here in this area. But it's going to be a tough level. Right, it's going to be a very, very tough level to get through. But again, we're going to let the market decide that. We don't decide that. We just try to join the move, right? Levels to the downside. We're going to watch this pre-market low here at 21,790. This is the after hours low. This is previous day high. This is also a very important level here at 21,882.50. We can get above that and hold, and we can start to target that, to fill that wick at 21,930. But you also got to get above after hours highs at, let's just call it 21,900, right? Now, I still think a solid long will present itself down here at this 21,700 level. So if we can, get back down here and hold, it could be an interesting level for a long opportunity. All right. Now, if we break underneath that, that's where stuff's going to start to get a little tricky. Break and hold under 21,700, this can really start to slip and we can lose out on that upside momentum. But again, we're going to allow the price action to dictate what we do, and we're just going to join the trend, right? Again, above 21,700, it's still a very bullish chart. And again, long term or higher time frames is still bullish. But what we have to remember is that pullbacks are necessary. Pullbacks are healthy, right? So if these levels start to fade, wait for an opportunity for something to hold, or maybe overshoot the level, come back up, retest, and then you start to target, the levels where most liquidity is at, where you're going to have your pre-market levels. This is actually a pre-market low. I don't know why I have it as a PMH. Just a second here. So, yeah, man. That's for NQ. Let's go ahead and take a look at ES really quick. I think 6110. This little channel we got going on here. My level should upload here in just a second. Just a moment here. There we go. So we're gonna have to move. So again, we are in this trend now here on the shorter time frame. I'm lagging a little bit. Just a second. So this is really the channel we got to get above. This little area of consolidation. We got some liquidity down here. We'll come back up to retest. We had, this slip up was during the news, right? But we held the channel. Does this move us higher up to this zone up here at 6150? We break above 6110 and hold. We should be on our way to 6150, right? So that's something that I would definitely be watching. And again, now the area that we want to see definitely hold for continued upside is going to be this 6,070 right here. You can notice got highs, break, retest, come back, retest. So if we break under 60.70, hold underneath it, then we're coming all the way down here to about the 630, 620 level. And after that, obviously the psych level is at 6,000, but we may be able to hold this zone here. But I'm definitely keeping an eye on that 6,070 level. Potential bounce opportunity. However, if we slip under that and hold underneath it, we should go lower, right? So this is what I wanted to talk about. And this is something that a lot of people don't really teach or preach on. And it's working on your edge, right? Having an edge in the market. Whatever it is, there's a ton of strategies out there, right? And I talk about this just on every live. There's a lot of strategies out there that work. The problem is when people take a few losses in a row or blow up an account on a strategy, one, they're blowing it up because they're not managing their risk. But what ends up happening is they're like, this strategy doesn't work, and then they move to a different strategy. And then it works for a couple of weeks, a few months, or a day or two, whatever it is. And then they have a losing streak. And because they're not managing their risk, they're blowing up accounts. And guess what? Now they go to a different strategy. And it's just a vicious cycle, right? It's a vicious cycle of not allowing the numbers to work out, not allowing the math to play out. Now, it is important to have an edge, right? I actually have seen traders literally say that they buy and sell when they want, not based on a strategy, just on what they feel, but they manage their risk, and guess what? They're profitable. I mean, it's a form of gambling, right? But I studied what's called positive expected value for sports betting. Right. And basically, it's kind of complicated to explain on here. I'd have to show you, and I'm not going to show you right now, but maybe one of these days I will. But basically, there is tools to let you know what the sports books across the betting industry are pricing in, or what the odds are. Right, for a specific, let's just say a prop, which is, I don't know, LeBron James over 35 points or 32.50, right? And let's say all the sports books are betting are all their odds are 120 or 130. Even though it is a 50% chance that prop will win, if you just go with the sports books and don't bet against them and bet with them, right? Because now you can plug in these props into like your price picks or your underdogs or whatever it is. But technically, if it has a positive expected value, let's say a 54% or 52%, it's like having a weighted coin, right? Let's just say for every... Let's say you have a quarter that's weighted heads at 51%, right? And tails at 49%. Even though you flip it, let's just say the first 10 times it lands on tails. If you flip that coin 1,000,000 times, it will land on heads more often 1% more than it would land on tails, right? And that's kind of what it is when you establish an edge. You have to obviously back test, right? You can watch it. There's, like I said, there's a ton of videos out there on strategy. But if you have an edge, let's just say, again, 60, 55% win rate, 60%, 70%. Obviously, sometimes you're going to have a higher win rate because the edge is working in your favor. But you can't switch strategies simply because it stopped working for a week, right? Or 5 days or 10 days. Because remember, if the edge is an actual edge and you've back tested it and you've done your data, and you know that this has a high probability, as long as you manage your risk properly, over time you're going to be profitable. And see, the thing about it is, it's the mind, the mental aspect of trading that gets us in trouble, right? Like, we defeat ourselves in this game. Do you know that this is the only industry that even doctors and the people that you think are the most intelligent people come in and fail at? Because trading doesn't care what kind of education you have. Trading doesn't care your background. It doesn't care how long you've studied. You can have the greatest strategy, but if you don't have the mental discipline, you won't be profitable. Right? I know some people that others would say they're probably not the most intelligent, and they're probably some of the most profitable people I know. It's crazy, right? And so, again, I encourage y'all, man, establish an edge, back test it, do your research, and stick to that thing. Give yourself some time with it, allow, again, if the edge is there, and really you can take something that somebody else is doing. You don't have to reinvent the wheel. Take something that and you don't have to trade it right away, but look at something that seems to have a decent win rate. Do your research on it, back test, write down your data, and allow the numbers to work in your favor, man. So again, I won't be live trading today, but I wanted to leave y'all with this just to encourage y'all. Don't give back all your profits. Today is Friday. End the weekend on a high note, or end the week on a high note. And don't forget to journal your trades over the weekend. Look back at what you could have done better. Treat this like your business, man. Because it's literally you versus you in trading. You versus you. The market doesn't care about your entries and your exits. The market doesn't move because you feel a certain way. It's you versus you. You got to define your risks. You got to take your piece. And yeah, man. Anyways, I hope y'all have a blessed weekend. Drop a comment. Any questions, leave a like, subscribe. I hope y'all find